Happy 2018. I'm so excited to be here with you today after taking a few weeks off from Facebook Lives. I had a wonderful holiday season, took a week off with my kids. It was fantastic. I hope you got to take some time off, at least a little bit. We also had a bomb, cyclone, apocalypse, blizzard, nor'easter, whatever you want to call it, here in Boston last week. So I was home almost the whole week with the kids also. So we're all going a little bit stir crazy, but it's 50 degrees outside right now. It's basically summer. I should have my windows open and my summer music blaring. So I hope wherever you are, it's really nice. Today we're going to talk about the newly announced Facebook changes. Everyone is completely freaking out about them. I just wrote a blog post about it today. You can find it up on my blog. But we're also going to talk about 5 New Year's resolutions for nonprofit marketers. I am Julia Campbell, and I help nonprofits build their movements and engage their online communities using digital marketing tools. I wonder if you've created any resolutions for 2018. I am not a big fan of resolutions. I'll monitor the comments if you have created any resolutions that you want to share. So as I just said, I'm not a big fan of resolutions. I tend to create themes for the year because resolutions just seem like you're setting yourself up for failure, honestly. And why set a goal at the start of the year? You could set it at any time. But my resolution for this year, or my theme for this year, is simplicity. Also, another tool that I really like is Chris Brogan does his 3 words for the year. So 3 words to set the tone for the year. He's been doing this every year for several years now. I will link to his blog post about how he chooses his words and what he chose in the comments. He's just fantastic like that. So I'm going to look at my notes. My number 1 resolution for you, because we're all freaking out about Facebook's new announcement that they are basically going to continue to demote Facebook pages and businesses and brands and media companies. They're going to demote their posts in the newsfeed. So what does this mean? So Mark Zuckerberg, and of course, all of social media, they've been getting a lot of flack for their alleged involvement in spreading fake and incendiary news during the 2016 election, and also just in general spreading misinformation. So I guess what happened was Mark and the group decided they had like a come together moment and they want to go back to their roots, and they really want Facebook to go back to being a place where you interact with your friends and your family. So for us, some of us, that might be what we use Facebook for. But for a lot of people, they use Facebook as their number 1 news source. They use Facebook to be entertained, to look at funny cat memes and cooking videos and, funny news stories and things like that. I know that's pretty much my entire newsfeed right now. Facebook wants to get away from that. They want to get away from the mindless scrolling, and they want us to go back to meaningful interactions, whatever that means. That's their definition. And I write all about this on my blog. So what does that mean for nonprofit marketers? It means that you're going to have to post more video, because in their official statement, Facebook did say page posts that generate conversation between people will show higher in the newsfeed. For example, live videos often lead to discussion among viewers on Facebook. In fact, live videos get an average of 6 times as many interactions as regular videos. So we know that Facebook is going to double down on live video. We know that live video is an authentic and genuine way to connect with your supporters and donors. And we now know that Facebook is pretty much saying they're going to bump it up in the news feed. I mean, they give you little clues if you read their news release really closely. So your number 1 resolution, commit to more video. Plan a live video broadcast and commit to taking out your smartphone and creating a thank you video for donors with your smartphone, or creating some kind of short video with your smartphone. Video has to be your number 1 resolution for 2018 if you're a nonprofit marketer. It absolutely has to. Okay, number 2, don't reinvent the wheel. This should be on the top of your New Year's resolutions. You have all of this fantastic content that you have created. I guarantee you have grant proposals and annual reports, direct mail appeals, thank you letters, all of this great stuff. How can you repurpose and repackage what you have and put it out there more times? So if you create a Facebook Live video, it's a lot of work to create one, to plan it, to launch it, to execute it, to follow up afterwards. It is a lot of work. You can then embed it on your blog and write something about it. You can download the file and put it on YouTube and put it on Vimeo. And you can actually upload clips of it to Instagram stories and a link to Twitter. So for every piece of content you create, you should not be constantly reinventing the wheel on all of the platforms that you're on. You can put a screenshot in your email marketing. You can add it to your website. You can do a million things. So every time you create a great piece of content, whether it's a direct mail appeal or a short video, whatever it is, your annual report, an infographic, make sure you have a plan to cut and dice and slice it and repurpose it for as many channels as possible. I don't want you to automate everything. That's very different. Automation is different. Automation is just putting the exact same 10 words out there with the exact same link to all of your social media sites without even noticing which site you're putting it on. That doesn't work. What I am saying is repurpose, repackage, don't reinvent the wheel so much. Don't drive yourself crazy so much. So promise me that you'll do that. Number 3, and this does relate to how you can still manage to connect with people on Facebook. Be a go-to resource. So I am going to do a lot of writing, and I'm going to create a lot more content around Facebook groups and how and why nonprofits should be using Facebook groups, maybe instead or in lieu of or in conjunction with their pages, because Facebook also said that in groups, there are more meaningful interactions. There's more discussion. Facebook really wants to drive people to talk to each other. I don't know how they're going to manage to get people to do that, because the majority of people on social media just lurk. They don't actually participate. But Facebook's trying to change that. They want us to get back to the time when we all talk to each other, I guess. So we can't hate the player. We can't hate the game. We can't, if you can't beat them, join them, right? So what can we learn from their new focus on meaningful interactions? We can become go-to resources for our supporters and our donors around the issue that they care about most, okay? So they don't care most about your organization. They might love and trust your organization, but they care about the work that you're doing and the impact that you're creating and the issue and the problem that you're solving. So you need to become that go-to resource, and you need to create these places. Maybe it's a Facebook group where people can have discussions and debate around it. And that is going to bring a lot of nonprofits out of their comfort zone, but it's absolutely necessary. It's totally necessary. Be an indispensable go-to resource. That's resolution number 3. Resolution number 4, no surprise here, because I absolutely am obsessed and committed to storytelling, but you need to commit to move your organization to becoming a storytelling organization. We've seen this time and time and time again. I wrote a book on it. I write blog posts about it. I do videos on it. I did a summer school training session around it. You have to commit to strategically collecting and crafting and disseminating great stories about your nonprofit work. It takes a lot of time. It takes effort. It takes creativity. It's not going to happen overnight. You might have to convince your program officers. You might have to convince your board, the higher ups at your organization about the importance of storytelling. But your organization needs to become a storytelling organization. If you are not already committed to storytelling, commit this year. This is the year that you commit. And all of this goes together. All of this goes together, sharing stories, sharing valuable, helpful information that your audience wants to receive from you, right? And repurposing, repackaging it, not driving yourself crazy, kind of having templates almost for your storytelling. But I really feel very strongly about that one. And you know that. And you know it's important, but you need a system. You need a system to do it. You can't just write down. That's why I don't like resolutions. Commit to storytelling. Great. How do I do that? Well, thankfully, I have a lot of resources for you on how to do that. But commit to creating a system and a culture of storytelling at your organization. That's number 4. Okay, number 5, you're not going to like this one. Double down on email. And actually, what's so funny about the Facebook announcement is that I had created, and I have created, this free nonprofit masterclass for you. I'll put the link in the comments where you can sign up, all about email marketing for the modern nonprofit. So no more email newsletters, no more emailing once a quarter, no more sending your email list out to every single person you've ever met on your mailing list. Focused, strategic, targeted, really creative and effective email marketing. And I'm doing a whole masterclass around it, but you have to double down on email, especially with this announcement from Facebook. If you've been focused on social media and growing your social media accounts, that can be, it can be really challenging to go back to kind of old school traditional email. But I do have some comments on that. So what I'm going to talk about in that webinar is how to send shorter emails more frequently, how to include more storytelling in your emails, how to create a welcome series for new donors and new email subscribers to increase donor acquisition. So there's going to be a lot of great tips in there. Just to blow your mind a little bit with a couple of statistics, because email is not dead. Everyone thinks email is dead. I shared an article, and I wish that I pulled it up, about how younger people and millennials are still as obsessed with email as we all are, okay? Gen X, Gen Y, boomers, whoever you are, it's still probably the first thing you check in the morning. It's still probably the majority of the way you do your work. Love it or hate it, we can't get away from email. There are currently 6.3 billion email accounts worldwide. Email accounted for 26% of all online revenue in 2016, which was a 14% increase over 2015. And 56% of email opens happen on mobile devices. And that shouldn't be any shock to any of us. So you need to double down on email. Like everything else, you need to create a strategy. You need to be thoughtful. You need to be focused. You can't just be sending emails out willy-nilly. It needs to be part of a more cohesive online communications and marketing strategy. And I do talk a lot about that, so I won't harp on that. So if you are interested, let's see, if you're interested in the nonprofit masterclass, is that going to show? That's the address where you can go and register. It's will be 90 minutes, and we're going to do Q&A at the end, and you'll get an email, and I'll post it in the comments. So if you do have questions, let me know. Let me know in the comments here. Let me know via email. Make sure to sign up for that class, because as we know, we also double down on email. Check out my latest blog post all about the brand new Facebook announcement. If you didn't see it, go to my blog, go to Facebook. Mark Zuckerberg posted an entire huge update all about the changes coming to Facebook. And I think it's going to really affect business pages and brands and the ways that they reach their audiences. I'm not sure if it's going to be a negative thing or a positive thing yet. We'll just have to see. So until then, let me know what you think. Send me any feedback and comments. I'd love to hear from you and hear how your 2018 is going. I hope that your resolutions are off to a fantastic start. And I will talk to you next week, same time, same place. Thank you so much, and have a fantastic weekend. Thank you. Cheers.